You, the chosen ones, welcome back. They threw storms your way, but you became the lightning. And you know what's running through their minds right now. It's eating them alive, burning a hole in their pride. They're thinking, how in the world are you still standing after everything we threw your way? How are you still smiling, still rising, still thriving? It's not just a question, it's their obsession. They can't sleep at night wondering how someone they underestimated, someone they tried to destroy, could walk through fire and come out glowing. But here's the truth they'll never admit. They didn't just fail to break you. They made you unstoppable. They threw their worst at you, the lies, the betrayal, the doubts they tried to seed in your mind. They were certain you'd crumble, certain you'd retreat into the shadows. But what they didn't see coming was that every ounce of pain they sent your way wasn't your end. It was your beginning. The battles they thought would destroy you became the forge that shaped you into something they can't comprehend, someone untouchable. Now they're shaking. Not because you survived, but because you thrived. You didn't just endure, you transformed. Every scar they left on you is now a badge of power. Every insult they hurled now an echo of their own insecurity. And that smile on your face, that's the part that scares them most. It's not just defiance. It's triumph. It's the unshakable truth that no matter how hard they tried, they couldn't take away your fire. They wonder, how do you still smile after all that? But the answer isn't in words. It's in the way you carry yourself. It's in the strength they'll never have, the clarity they can't see, the resilience they'll never understand. They thought your silence meant you were weak. What they didn't know is that silence isn't surrender. It's strategy. You weren't ignoring them. You were outgrowing them. And now, every time they see you, it's like looking in a mirror they can't avoid. You remind them of every failure, every insecurity, every truth they refuse to face. They're haunted by the realization that they threw everything they had at you, and it wasn't enough. They don't fear what you've become. They fear what you've always been, someone who doesn't break, someone who doesn't quit, someone they'll never be able to control. Chosen one, they can't figure it out, but here's the secret they'll never know. You didn't just survive, you transcended. And that's why they're shaking. Not because of what you've been through, but because of what you've become. So let them watch, let them question, let them fear. You've already won. So, chosen one, let me take a moment to thank you. Yes, you. Whether you're new or you've been riding with us since the beginning, your energy, your resilience, and your presence fuel this mission. You're proof that the truth always finds its way, and that kind of power deserves recognition. If you're ready to rise above everything they threw your way, to stand stronger and brighter than ever, smash that like button, hit subscribe, and share this message with someone who's still breaking free from the weight of doubt. Drop a comment below with number 77 if you're ready to claim your power and own this moment. Now let's show them what it looks like when a chosen one smiles in the face of everything meant to destroy them. The world isn't ready, but you are. Let's begin. Number 1. Every scar they left is now a crown you wear. Scars are not wounds. They are proof you were stronger than what tried to break you. Chosen ones, look at your scars, the ones they tried to hide behind their cruelty, the ones they mocked, the ones you carried in silence. They thought those marks were signs of your failure, but they couldn't have been more wrong, because every scar they left on you wasn't just a wound. It was a blueprint for the crown you now wear. Each time they doubted you, each time they pushed you down, they unknowingly handed you the tools to rise. They thought they were chiseling away at your spirit, but all they were doing was sculpting a masterpiece. Your scars? They're the brushstrokes of a warrior who refused to surrender, a monument to resilience no storm could tear down. Think about it. When they called you weak, when they dismissed your pain, they thought they were breaking you. But scars don't form on the broken. They form on the healed. They didn't destroy you. They made you sharper, wiser, and unshakable. And now, when they look at you, they don't see weakness. They see a crown they never had the courage to earn. You're not just walking proof of survival. You're living, breathing royalty forged in fire. They wanted to leave you shattered, but instead, they left you shining. You wear those scars not as a reminder of pain, but as a testament to your power. You took everything they threw at you, turned it into gold, and placed it proudly on your head. And here's the truth they'll never admit. They're haunted by those scars, because they know they gave you every piece of the crown they can never wear. Your scars aren't their victory, they're your triumph. So stand tall, touch your scars, and feel the strength beneath them. Wear your crown with pride, because you've earned every single jewel on it. Whisper this to yourself now, and feel it in your heart. I am unshakable. Number 2. They thought they were your storm, but you became the hurricane. Fate whispers to the warrior, you cannot withstand the storm. The warrior whispers back, I am the storm. Chosen ones, they thought they had you figured out. They believed their chaos, their betrayal, and their schemes would be enough to tear you apart. They saw themselves as the storm that would uproot everything you built, destroy your foundation, and leave you scattered. But what they failed to realize is this: storms don't break the unbreakable. While they raged and flailed, you didn't cower, you didn't run. Instead, you stood in the center of their chaos, calm and deliberate. They were the wind, wild and aimless. And you were gathering your power, steady and unstoppable. They thought they were your storm, but you were becoming the hurricane, stronger, fiercer, and more focused than they ever imagined. Every insult, every betrayal, every time they tried to shake you, they only added to your strength. What they meant to harm you became your fuel. What they thought would bury you only made your roots grow deeper. And now, as you rise, they can feel it. The unstoppable force they created, but will never control. Look at them now, scrambling to recover from the whirlwind they unleashed, trying to protect themselves from the very destruction they set in motion. They thought you were fragile, thought you'd fold under pressure, but they didn't realize that pressure doesn't crush a warrior. It forges them. They underestimated you because they couldn't see the strength in your stillness, the power in your patience. They were loud, reckless, and short-lived. You were quiet, deliberate, and eternal. Now they're running, trying to escape the hurricane they never saw coming. But here's the truth. This wasn't just survival for you. This was evolution. You didn't just withstand their storm. You became something greater, something unstoppable. And now, as they watch you move forward, leaving their chaos in ruins, they finally understand. They were never your storm. You were always the force they couldn't handle. So say this in your heart and know it's true. I am unshakable. Number 3. They wanted you broken. Now they're the ones cracking. The same hammer that shatters glass also forges steel. Chosen ones, let's talk about it. They wanted you broken. Every word they hurled at you, every betrayal, every snide remark. They weren't just trying to hurt you, they were trying to shatter you. To them, your strength was a threat, and your resilience was something they couldn't comprehend. So they did what weak people always do. They tried to break what they couldn't control. But here's the part they never saw coming. You don't break like they do. While they're made of fragile glass, you're forged from fire. What they thought would destroy you only made you stronger. Every insult they threw became a brick in the fortress you built. Every attempt to knock you down became fuel for your rise. And now they're the ones cracking under the pressure of their own games. Think about it. They thought they had the power, thought they could control the narrative. But what they didn't realize was this. When they pushed you to the edge, they didn't find your weakness. They discovered your unshakable core. They weren't breaking you. They were revealing the indestructible warrior within. And look at them now. While you're standing taller, stronger, and more unstoppable than ever, they're falling apart. Their lies are unraveling, their confidence is crumbling, and their desperation is showing. The very chaos they tried to use against you has turned back on them. Karma doesn't forget, and neither does the truth. You see, they built their sense of power on the illusion that you needed their approval, that you cared about their validation. But when you let go of their opinions and stood in your own truth, you shattered their entire foundation. And that's why they're cracking. They can't handle the realization that their power was never real. It was always borrowed from the insecurities they tried to project onto you. The truth is, they weren't ready for someone like you, someone who could take everything they threw, turn it into strength, and rise above it all without looking back. Someone who could smile in the face of their chaos and say, "Is that all you've got?" And now, as they scramble to pick up the pieces, trying to rebuild their fragile egos, you stand untouched, unbothered, and unstoppable. They wanted you broken, but all they managed to do was reveal their own weakness. And you walk away stronger, knowing this one simple truth: I will not break. Number 4. They saw you as the underdog. You were always the chosen wolf. The lion may be the king, but the wolf doesn't perform in anyone's circus. Chosen ones, let's get one thing clear. They saw you as the underdog. To them, you were the outsider, the one who didn't fit into their carefully crafted hierarchies. They saw your quiet strength and mistook it for weakness. They watched you move in silence and assumed you didn't know the game they were playing. But what they never realized is this: you were never playing their game. You were the wolf in the shadows, always steps ahead, watching and waiting. They love their underdog stories because it makes them feel safe. Safe in their illusions, safe in the belief that you were beneath them. But you were never the underdog. You were always the chosen wolf, a force they couldn't see coming because they were too busy looking down at you. While they celebrated their small, hollow victories, you were out there mastering the terrain, building your strength, and preparing for a moment they couldn't predict. Here's what they didn't understand. Wolves don't chase the approval of sheep. You weren't interested in their games, their validation, or their shallow attempts to put you in your place. While they moved in packs, hiding behind their numbers, you stood alone, silent, deliberate, and unstoppable. They thought they could corner you, but they didn't realize you don't fight where you're outnumbered. You fight where you're untouchable. Now they see you for who you truly are, and it terrifies them. The wolf they underestimated is the same force standing at the top of the mountain, unshaken by their noise. They can't understand how you moved past them so effortlessly, how their doubts and dismissals only fueled your rise. But that's the difference between them and you. They chase recognition. You chase purpose. When they called you the underdog, it was never about you. It was about their fear. Fear that someone they dismissed could outshine them, outrun them, outlast them. They needed to believe you were beneath them because the truth was too much for their egos to handle. And now That truth is staring them in the face. You've proven them wrong, not by shouting louder or playing their games, but by doing what wolves do best, moving with intention, thriving in solitude, and always staying ahead of the pack. They thought they had you figured out, but they never even saw the real you. And now it's too late. So let them think what they want. Let them cling to their illusions. You know who you are. You were never the underdog. You were always the chosen wolf. And now, as they scramble to catch up, whisper this truth to yourself. I was born to lead. Number 5. They burned bridges. You built empires. Some people burn bridges to light their way. Others build them to span the impossible. Chosen ones, let's be real. They burned those bridges, thinking they were cutting you off, leaving you stranded. They laughed as the flames roared, convinced you'd be stuck on the other side, lost and alone. What they didn't realize was this: you were never meant to stay on their path. While they were busy torching connections and destroying possibilities, you were laying the foundation for something far greater. They thought burning bridges would stop you, but instead, it freed you. The ashes of their destruction became the soil where you planted the seeds of your empire. While they reveled in their small, petty victories, you built something they couldn't even dream of. Brick by brick, step by step, a legacy that will outlast every flame they lit. You see, they thought bridges were your only route. They thought cutting you off meant you'd have nowhere to go. But what they never understood is this: you don't wait for a way, you create one. They burned the easy paths, but you didn't need their permission, their approval, or their connections to rise. Where they saw an ending, you saw a blank canvas, ready to be transformed. And now they stand in the ruins of their own making, surrounded by charred remains, trying to understand how you've thrived while they're stuck in the rubble. They look at the empire you've built, your strength, your vision, your power, and they can't comprehend how you did it without them. But that's the beauty of it, isn't it? Their fire was never your limitation. It was your liberation. It taught you to rely on your own strength, your own ingenuity. It forced you to grow in ways they never expected. While they were focused on tearing down, you were mastering the art of building up. They burned bridges out of spite, out of fear, out of their own insecurities. They thought destruction would bring you down to their level, but instead, it revealed the vastness of your potential. They were so busy trying to stop you, they never noticed you were outgrowing them all along. Look at them now. Staring at your empire, they can't deny the truth. Their actions didn't hold you back. They launched you forward. Every flame they lit, every bridge they destroyed, was just another reminder that you don't need their paths when you're capable of building your own. So let them watch as you continue to rise, unbothered and unstoppable. You've proven that bridges aren't the key to success. Vision is. And while they stand in the ashes of their choices, you stand at the peak of an empire they can't touch. Say this to yourself and believe it. I create my own way. Number 6. They tried to tear you down. You built a fortress instead. They aimed to destroy, but they became the architects of your resilience. Chosen ones, they tried to dismantle you. Piece by piece, they chipped away at your spirit, your confidence, and your identity. They thought their words, their actions, their calculated betrayals would leave you broken, scattered, and searching for yourself amidst the rubble. They wanted to see you crumble, to witness your downfall, because to them, your strength was a threat. But here's the truth they'll never understand. The stronger the winds, the deeper the roots. And while they were busy tearing you down, they were unknowingly handing you the materials to rebuild. Every insult they hurled became a brick in the fortress you constructed. Every doubt they sowed turned into steel reinforcements, and every betrayal became mortar, holding it all together. They thought you were fragile, that you would fall apart at the first sign of adversity. What they didn't realize is that you were never built from the kind of stuff that shatters easily. You were forged in fire, tempered by storms, and strengthened by challenges that would have destroyed anyone else. Look at you now. The walls they tried to break now stand taller, stronger, and more impenetrable than ever. You didn't just survive their attacks, you transformed them. Their attempts to destroy you didn't weaken you, they fortified you. They became the unwitting architects of your resilience, the unwilling participants in your rise. Your fortress isn't made of stone or steel. It's built from something far more unbreakable. Your spirit, your courage, your unwavering belief in yourself. It's the lessons you learned from every wound, the strength you gained from every setback, and the clarity you found in the midst of their chaos. They didn't know that every time they tried to tear you down, they were adding to the foundation of something they couldn't touch. Now they look at you, standing tall and unshaken, and they don't understand how you did it. They can't comprehend how someone they tried so hard to destroy could rise from the ashes, not just whole, but stronger than ever. But that's the beauty of it, isn't it? They don't need to understand. They don't need to know how you turned their destruction into construction. Let them wonder. Let them question. Their attempts to bring you down are now just echoes in the past, powerless against the fortress you've built. And as they try to make sense of your strength, you walk forward, unbothered, protected, and unstoppable. Touch your fortress, feel its strength, its unyielding power, and know this: you built it. You took every stone they threw and transformed it into something they can never break. You are untouchable, unshakable, and unbreakable. Say it now, and say it with conviction. I am my own fortress. Number 7. You didn't chase their approval, you chased your purpose. They wanted you to follow their script. You chose to write your own story. Chosen ones, let's be real. There was a time when they wanted you to need them. They thrived on the idea that their opinions, their validation, their approval were the keys to your success. They wanted you to look to them for permission, for acceptance, for a sense of worth. But what they failed to understand was that you were never chasing their approval. You were chasing something far greater, your purpose. While they were busy trying to mold you into what they thought you should be, you were discovering who you truly are. While they set expectations, drew lines, and built walls, you stepped outside the box and into the boundless realm of possibility. Their approval would have been a cage, limiting you to their small vision of the world. But your purpose? It's limitless, expansive, and entirely your own. Think about it. How many times did they question your path? How many times did they dismiss your dreams because they couldn't see the bigger picture? They wanted you to conform, to fit into the narrative they were comfortable with. But you knew better. You knew that chasing their approval would mean abandoning your truth, and you weren't willing to make that trade. It wasn't easy. Walking away from their expectations often feels like walking into the unknown. There were moments of doubt, times when you questioned if you were doing the right thing, but deep down you felt the pull of your purpose, that unshakable force that guided you forward even when the path wasn't clear. And now look at you, standing tall, grounded in your purpose, unshaken by the opinions of those who once doubted you. You've created a life that reflects your truth, not theirs. You've built something authentic, something real, something that no one can take away from you. Their approval? It was never the prize. It was a distraction, a fleeting moment of validation that could never sustain the kind of fulfillment you found. Your purpose, on the other hand, is eternal. It's the fire that fuels you, the light that guides you, and the reason you keep moving forward, no matter what. Now, they watch you with a mix of confusion and envy. They can't understand how you've thrived without their approval, how you've risen without their permission. But that's because they're still chasing the applause, the recognition, the fleeting sense of worth that comes from external validation. Meanwhile, you've tapped into something they'll never find until they stop running from themselves. So let them wonder. Let them question. You don't owe them answers, just as you never needed their approval. Keep chasing your purpose, because it's the only thing that truly matters. Whisper this truth to yourself and feel its power. I don't seek approval. I seek purpose. Chosen one, stand tall in your truth. The world isn't ready, but you are. Number 8. They can't rewrite the story. You own the pen. They wanted to tell your story, but they never held the pen. Chosen ones, there's a powerful truth you must embrace. Your story belongs to you, and you alone. The world is full of people who will try to rewrite your narrative, twist your truth, and turn your triumphs into tales of their own making. They want to define who you are, what you've been through, and what you're capable of. But here's the thing, they never held the pen. They whispered behind your back, tried to smear your name, and painted you with the colors of their own insecurities. They acted as though their version of your story could become reality if they just repeated it enough. But they failed to grasp one unshakable fact. Your truth is untouchable. No matter how many times they try to rewrite the script, the ink of your authenticity will always shine through. Think about it. How many times did they try to silence your voice, to take the power of your narrative and twist it into something that served them? They wanted to make you a character in their story, a footnote in their journey, but you were never meant to be in their shadow. You were always the author of your destiny, holding the pen with steady hands, even when the world tried to rip the pages away. Here's what they'll never understand. Your story isn't defined by their perceptions, their lies, or their attempts to control the narrative. It's defined by your courage, your resilience, and your refusal to let anyone else dictate the chapters of your life. Every trial you faced, every obstacle you overcame, was written by you. Your strength, your grit, your vision. And now, as you continue to rise, they're left scrambling to understand how their words couldn't shape your reality. It terrifies them that they never had control, that despite their attempts, your story remains yours. They can't handle the truth staring back at them. The pen was never in their hands. So let them talk, let them spin their tales. Their words hold no weight against the truth of your life. Every time they try to rewrite your story, they reveal more about themselves than they ever could about you. They are mere spectators, trying to add their voice to a narrative that doesn't belong to them. Chosen one, this is your story. You decide the characters, the plot twists, the victories, and even the setbacks that fuel your growth. You hold the power to write your future with boldness, clarity, and purpose. Say it now and let it resonate deep within you. I own the pen. My story is mine to tell. Keep writing, chosen one. Let every word be a testament to your strength, every chapter a reminder of your resilience. The world isn't ready for the masterpiece you're creating, but you are. So, chosen ones, as we wrap up, remember this. Your story, your strength, your light are untouchable. They may try to define you, tear you down, or rewrite your truth, but the power is yours. It always has been. If this message resonated with you, like, subscribe, and share it with someone who needs a reminder of their own greatness. Drop a comment below with, "I hold the pen," to claim your truth. The world may not be ready for the force you're becoming, but you are. Keep rising, keep thriving, and keep proving that nothing can stop you.